Yeah, welcome to Press TV once again. My name is Isaac. Thank you for joining me once again on the channel. Today I want to talk about four fundamental things I think will change the league at least slightly better next season. And if teams and the technical staff are taking this form of fundamental very serious, I think teams can compete slightly better than they are. You know, one which is fitness level. I want PSL teams to invest thoroughly on the physical trainers, someone who have a proven record on training athletes to compete at the highest level. You know, I want to commend University of Pretoria Tax. I think they were playing against Sundowns on a netbank quarterfinals. Tax shown a great, you know, showcasing of fitness on that game. They played 90 minutes and it took Sundowns to the penalties, straight to the penalties, and the boys' fitness levels, you know, I like never deteriorate as the game go. Obviously, they get tired, but like they shown like they can even go extra minutes, even if the game was not going to the penalty straight. That's what I'm talking about. Taking the game to the extra level, which is fitness. You know, teams if are to invest in the fitness of players, invest thoroughly in a point like teams can compete at least 210 minutes push. Considering the number of games the PSL teams are playing, some are just playing competitions and not playing CAF Champions League. So I believe they can get extra push in physical training, and it will improve players performance. It will improve players endurance, and it will improve players concentration on the game, and I think it will better their results on the log when the league proceed in a season. I am a firm believer if the team have have a great deal of fitness, can compete in any level. So I think it will give them an extra push just to like to have a composed team, and offload the work, you know of competing in patches, mostly roughly in the game. So I believe the physical trainers have not even a slightly, they have an impact, and how team perform and how teams go through the season, and how the team doesn't get a lot of injuries. So that's what I'm advocating for teams, to go out there and and compete. So I think if fitness trainers are head counted with the proven record, no matter which sporting code they were in before. I just need someone who can train athletes in the highest level. Obviously, considering like the type of the game the physical trainer will come into, that will take us into consideration. But watching the game against Kaiser Chiefs and how's it- is it Cheaper United? I think, yeah, Cheaper United. Some of the Kaiser Chiefs players were seem as if like they were tired. And in the 80th, 70th minute, if I'm not mistaken, they were tired. So, and so it's a question to ask yourself, because Kaiser Chiefs doesn't compete in many games in a season. So they either roughly play straight 30 games, PSL games. Maybe they play a cup. Maybe if they go to to the next round of MTNA, to the next round of Nedbank Cup, to the next round of Candy Black Label. So they roughly maybe played 38 games to 40 games a season. Compared to it seems like Sundowns maybe play like 40 something or 50 something games per season, and that's roughly that's a graph to show you, you know, the performance areas of the teams, and the difference in terms of competing, you know. And I think the teams like Sundowns, the teams like University of Pretoria, the teams like of maybe let me put Stellenbosch in the mix, are, you know, competing greatly in that level because of maybe they have invested, you know, quite well in their physical department. So I think if they improve in that area, teams will slightly, you know, compete in a different level, and you know, will at least compete for the trophies. And I'm not pointing out big teams only. The whole PSL teams should, and you know, invest greatly on physical trainers. You know, another thing I think PSL teams next season should, you know, improve on, man. It's tactics. You know, it's tactics. Sometimes you watch a game, you know, and some of us watch a game greatly because of we want to see how the teams plays most importantly, and the results comes after, you know. And I must say there are not many teams that shows you their style of play, number one, number two, the tactics, how they're approaching the game, you know. And I can tell maybe from my point of view, maybe there are three teams, you know, in my opinion, or four. So I think Sundowns obviously, Pirates, Stellenbosch again. I'll put them on the list, and TS Galaxy. You know, these three teams, they are playing tactical football. You can see, you know, what they want to do, you know, in defense, in attack, and if maybe they are in, you know, in front in terms of scoreline, how they want to contain the game and how to want to finish the game. But some of the teams in the PSL, you don't know which structure they are playing on, how they counter attack, how they are defend. You know, it's just the formation because the formation just has to be there just to put up, you know, the basics of the game. But they are not really, you know, showing the great, you know, advantage, you know, of using tactics in the game. And somehow these slightly impact the collapse, you know, of other players to the national teams, you know. And even if there's an individual who's doing well in those teams in regard, but if the teams are not showing the good structure, the good formation, the good tactics and how to play and create that foundation of the team, this team is playing this way. I don't know what are we going to come back and react on as fans, as football fans, on or learn on, you know, because football is a learning game, you know, and this most part of teams are not showing, you know, any sense of tactical abilities or technical abilities to say, and it becomes difficult because you have players in a development DDC, you have players, you know, coming up to your ranks, and you know, battle to settle down, you know, to what is expected to play in a top flight, you know, because some teams don't have structures, teams don't have tactical, you know, method on how they play. You know, some of the teams score one goal, sit at the back the whole minute from the time they score the goal, and that's their strategy, game in, game out, because of maybe they're fighting relegation or maybe because of they want to accumulate 3 points per game or 3 points against the big teams, you know. And that's been the greatly disadvantage of most of the teams. And I think if they can improve in that regard, in that areas, I think, you know, most definitely teams will start to compete, you know, for the title. And the teams like Mamelodi Sundowns will not have it at ease to play against the teams who pack the bars, maybe against them, you know. And I commend few teams who go toe to toe with Mamelodi Sundowns, you know, the likes of Pirates, the likes of Stellenbosch, and TS Galaxy, you know. Those are the teams where you watch a game and say, okay, they gave Sundowns maybe they run for the money because of they know how they want to play. It's if it's either if they play against Sundowns, they play the low blow, you know, or if ever like they want to take the position and head Sundowns on the counter, you know, that's what you want to see maybe in a game, you know. So it's not seen in many teams, you know, and there's a coming from a constructive, you know, critic, because we need to critique the teams because we love the game, we love the PSL, and we need to get the at least slightly, a take home lesson on what the other team implemented in the game, on in that regard. So I think if they improve in that level, I think many teams are going far, many players are going far in terms of improving their game. And another thing I want to talk about the philosophy and the coach's philosophies, which again, counter what I was talking about, the tactics. Some of the coaches doesn't have the philosophy, and some of the coaches still rely on route one, like type of play football. You know, you kick it forward, you trap, rely on a second ball, and maybe just rely on just to at least maybe make an entry box of opposition and defend from there. Repeat it, same thing, throughout the 90 minutes. And if you get a goal, boom, that's it. We pack the bus, and that's how most coaches are playing their tactics and their philosophy, and which I think doesn't improve players. One takes players, development, in a negative way, because they're not developing in a level any player playing in a top flight league should develop. So I believe maybe if maybe so many coaches have their philosophies and we can identify how these coaches are playing their football and want to implement their strategy on the team, regardless of which team they're playing, they are coaching on. I think if they can improve in that level, I think can help their careers grow and the development of the players, really grow. Because it's been a problem if maybe the teams of Mamelodi Sundowns they didn't come up with this philosophy many seasons ago. I think the national team could be struggling even now. I think we wouldn't have gotten that number three spot in Africa if that wasn't the case, because many teams don't have philosophy, and then that's said, and it's not even making a positive impact in South African football to say. And another point I want to talk there to counterpart this one is foreign coaches. You know, some of the teams appoint foreign coaches, you know, who we don't know if they have, qualities to coach in the PSL, qualities to coach some of the players in the PSL, because some of the players in the PSL come with a greater experience of being coached by the great coaches, maybe, and you come as a foreign coach and don't impact the game, don't impact the South African football, don't grow the South African football, don't develop, South African players to that reach of their abilities, and that one I think it's been a detrimental in South African football, and I commend those coaches who come here, foreign coaches who come here, and implement and dominate, and to say, maybe not winning the league but winning trophies. And I'll quote, and not to quote, but to mention Jose Riviero. I think it's one of the coach who came here. We are seeing the style of play. He's winning titles, three titles back to back. You know, and he's been the coach. I think he came here to say I'm going to improve. Orlando Pirates. I'm going to at least contribute in a South African football. I once watched his interview, one of his interview before even the season started. I think it was on a preseason, and he said he once he was appointed and came to South Africa. he traveled around Soweto and the neighboring, communities around, just to, you know, make himself familiar with the environment, with the community itself, and he could feel the sense of, where the players are coming from and where the South Africa is at the moment, and from just that thing and that, feeling banned for a coach just to go to the communities and engage and to feel where we are as South Africans. I think that I take it as a pointer of this man wanted to connect with the South Africans, and that's why he is, contributing in the South African football. Maybe might one might agree that he's not winning won the league yet, but I think he's contributing immensely in South African football, and I commend him for that. I commend him for, you know, giving the likes of, Relebohile Mofokeng the chances of playing, you know, the buying of Maswangani to the Pirates, which has been in my from Supersport, which has been the greater, addition to the team, and giving the players like Chaina, the goalkeeper, the chance to showcase his talent, which we have seen glimpses from Bloemfontein Celtics and Chippa United in that regard. I think this coach, if he is to stay, we are going to see, Pirates competing, in this level for many seasons, and I think and I hope, Pirates family stick with him for very long time, because I think and I believe in this coach, and he's been my one to, my commendable one, and the other one I want to quote is Said Ramovic, TS Galaxy, exceptional coach, a well-mannered man, a man who put structure and discipline to his team. The man, you can see the direction of the team and how what he wants out of TS Galaxy family. How do he want out of TS Galaxy team? He have put in structure, in discipline, in morale, in development, and he's been introducing youngsters in the team and are doing very well. He's introducing players we never seen before in the PSL. So, and that's what we want to see. That's what coaches are for. Foreign coaches are for. To come here to develop and improve the South African football, to improve players' lives, to improve the teams they are coaching on. You know, so that's what I want to see in coaches. So yeah, man. Please like the video. Tell me what you think. Share your thoughts in the comment. Uh, Tell me where to improve. And what you want to talk about in the channel. Yeah. So this is High Press TV, man. My name is Isaac. Thank you for watching.